Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm doing the second half of my What Solds, which will be from last week, Friday through Sunday, February 9th through the 11th. And y'all, my sales are continuing to amaze me. I'm selling every day. So I can't complain. Had a couple of sales on Mercari, Poshmark, and probably my last sale on Etsy, because I think I'm down to like 12 or 13 and they should all expire by the end of the month, and I'm not going to renew them. Maybe till fourth quarter, but maybe not. I haven't decided yet. So y'all, we had to order a new computer this week. This one that we use to record has just been giving us fits. It's 12 years old. It's like we buy a new computer for upstairs and then the old ones come down here. So we ordered a new one. So hopefully we'll stop having some of the issues, y'all. Sometimes we have to re-record stuff. Sometimes it turns off and we don't realize it's turned off. Or it's disconnected from the camera. It's just, it stops recording and we're just still talking away. It's just really been an issue. And sometimes it won't even connect to the camera. So an expense that we weren't expecting, but definitely a necessary expense. So I'll be happy when it gets here this week and we can get everything reset up. All right. I'm going to start saying this more regularly. One of the best ways that you can support my channel if you like this type of content is please thumbs up the video and leave me a comment. We also have a second channel for those of you who are new. It's called the Rebel Pickers, and we've only got 4 or 5 videos at this point on there. So if you like picking videos where we actually are out and about, go on over there and, watch the videos, subscribe if you like it. I recorded at an estate sale and some thrift store stuff this weekend, and I think the footage was okay. So hopefully we're going to have a non-bins video to go out this week on that channel also. All right, let's get to this. Couple of sales on Mercari. This one is a Kelly Toy Bunny Rabbit plush. I tend to pick up most of these. They just do well for me. I use the words textured and quilted also in them. And it sold on an offer for $11.22. Let me move my coffee. I would hate to spill it. That would be a travesty. All right. I showed previously, I think probably last weekend, I sold this Pegasus plush by Animal Adventure. The mom left me feedback saying that she was so glad that she had finally found one of these, and I knew I had a second one. So I sent her a message asking if she needed a backup, and she said yes. So I went ahead and cross-listed it again to Mercari, and she purchased it. So this one sold for $9.95. And then this Fiesta Wanna Kiss Pug Dog plush, Valentine's Day, heading into Easter. I'm going to be selling a lot of stuff like this. It sold for $11. All right, and then on Poshmark, I technically only had one sale, but it was a bundle. This person bought 2 pieces of brass for me. She offered me $18 total, and she bought this swan and this duck. So $18 for the 2. And then my last Etsy sale probably is this Travelodge Sleepy Teddy Bear. He sold for $43.95. He's from that hybrid estate sale that we won almost 3 years ago. I'm still selling stuff from that. I still have several boxes full of smalls from that sale that hopefully I'm going to be getting to as soon as I get this side of the basement under control. That's some of the stuff that's going to come over and I'm going to work on next. But that was such an amazing find. All right, and then eBay. All right, first thing to share with you is this Best Ever Funny Feet Valentine horse. I like picking this brand up. I don't find it very often, but they have these long, kind of weighted legs. This one sold for $19. All right, tons of stuff from my profit pile. Somebody made a comment, is my profit piles the same as what other people call their death piles? I differentiate it in the fact that for me, these were death piles because they had sat forever, but now I'm considering them profit piles because I'm actually working them. I'm really pushing through a lot of smalls that I've just let accumulate because it's so much easier to list the plush. The plush take up more space over on this side where, you know, I can have a tote that has hundreds of smalls in it. And that's kind of just what's happened over the years. Y'all, I had a tote probably this big that was filled probably 3/4 of the way through. And I'm down to like a single layer of stuff that I haven't finished processing. So I'm enjoying it because I like the smalls. It's just, you know, taking the time to Google Lens it and everything just to make sure I have all the right keywords. Some of it I didn't know what it was. So, you know, it was just easier to push this stuff aside. And now I'm not going to do that anymore. Famous last words of a fool. All right, so this was a Thomas & Friends Trackmaster Bash the Loco motorized train. Sold for $11.66. I do make a video of anything that's battery operated to show that it is working at the time that I listed it. And also, I'm going to make a note to also always take a picture of inside of the battery case, because it has saved me on more than one occasion when somebody gets something and they say the batteries were corroded. Well, I can show first and foremost, it wasn't corroded. I don't ship anything with batteries in it unless it's internal and I can't get to it. So it has saved me because we know there are those buyers out there. So always take a picture of inside of your battery case. I also have a sticker on the outside because y'all know I put everything in a clear bag. I have a sticker now that anything that's battery operated that I'm not going to include batteries in, I have a sticker that says batteries not included, because I had a very angry message probably last year from a mama that said, it's not working. It's not working. You said it was working and it's not working. Well, it didn't have batteries in it. And she apologized. But now I just make sure I put a sticker on every bag that says batteries not included. And that way they know right away that they need to get batteries for it. All right. This is a Carter's Brown Bear wind up plush. Again, I have a video of it. I think at this point, it's easy to put a video on, so you might as well. This Carter's Bear sold for $12. All right, this is a listing that's been over a year, so I got an offer of $9.99 on it, so I went ahead and accepted it. It is a SeaWorld Dolphin Porpoise plush, $9.99. I tend to pick up a lot of Hallmark, but most of them are bread and butter. Some of them are really long tail, but I just like them, so I tend to pick them up sometimes. This was a purple hippo. Of course, I'm going to pick up purple. 2018, and it sold for $11.66. It was actually only listed 2 months before it sold. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I've kind of left my custom label open. I guess where eBay has moved stuff around, I can actually see my custom label. So I'm able to look and see when I listed it. So that's helping me with these videos also. The second number there, for those of you who want to know, is my inventory number that I have assigned to it. When I first started these numbers last January, I knew I had little under 10,000 listings. So I started at that point numbering 10,001, 10,002. And then everything below 10,000 I have been saving for the stuff that's been listed but didn't have an inventory number. And as I'm doing my inventory, I'm adding an itemized number. Robert's taken over my shipping, so this helps him find the correct item, because sometimes, especially like in Loveys or Little People, there's tons of them in there, and that way I know he's pulling the exact item that I need him to pull. So everything is getting a number now. So I'm up into the, I think, 16,000s at this point. So since the beginning of last year, you know, I've listed 6,000 some items. I went and looked. I'm about to hit 7,000 listings since the beginning of last year. That does not include clothing. Clothing has their own separate number system. So I've been busy. All right. All right, this is just a vintage paper tablecloth by Ambassador. It's been, I think I picked it up at a Ben's at some point. Probably not something that I'm going to pick up in the future because it's a sale. But it sold. Y'all, almost anything will sell on eBay. And it sold for $8.96. This is Hug Fun. I like the brand. But it's mostly bread and butter. This was a yellow duck from 2017, sold for $11.66. It's like comparable in quality, like Kelly Toy, probably Dandy. Bunnies by the Bay, I love that series. Some of them sell well, but there are some that are just really bread and butter. This Lovey did take over a year to sell, and it sold for $16.16. All right, the last two of these sold. I picked up 4 of these salad sack vegetable bags. I paid 50 cents each for them. I had 2 green and 2 of these white ones. They were all in their original packaging. And I think the green one sold for just a tad bit more, maybe about $25. And then this person bought 2 of these and paid $22.45 each, so a total of $44.90. Eddie Bauer women's jeans sold for $15.13. Y'all, I forgot to say it at the beginning of my eBay solds. I don't do free shipping, so when I say something sold for a certain amount, the buyer also paid shipping. I knew this was going to sell quickly. Anytime I can find a plush that's in odd colors, like this Aurora dog, it was bluish green. I knew it was going to sell very quickly, and it did. I listed it in February, and it sold in February, and it sold for $17.95. American Girl bed. I picked up, I want to say 2 American Girl dolls and this bed and some shoes and accessories. I want to say I paid $5 for each doll and $10 for all of the accessories at a yard sale. And the bed sat here forever, because it's oversized. It needed pre-packed. Finally got around to it. I think we listed it, I want to say, in November. Yep, listed it in November, and it has sold for $22.45. All right, this sat upstairs in a tote forever. Robert started sorting them for me. We were just going to bag all and count all the pieces, see if it was complete or incomplete. At some point we gave up, and it sat up there for a very long time. But I decided that I was going to just drag it all down here, take pictures as is, say it's incomplete because we really don't know. And I listed it, and it sold within days, if not the same day I listed it. It is a K'NEX Hyperspace training tower. I want to say when I looked at the comps, if it was like new in the box or complete, they were selling for like $100 or so. So I just decided to pick $69.95 because it's got a lot of pieces. And it sold on my sale price of $62.95. Holy Bears, I tend to pick them up. Sometimes I put them in lots. This one was unique, in fact, that it was for a bus driver. So I kept it separate, and it sold in like 2 months for $8.87. All right. Again, this was just sitting, waiting. They needed wiped down. They just kind of had collected dust. 2-minute job, and got them listed, and they sold, again, within a month. These are Domino's Coca-Cola vintage set. They sold for a best offer of $20. Puppy Pals, Puppy Dog Pals, plush. There was a time they sold for a lot better. They are now, it just seems, taking a long time to sell. So it's probably not something I'm going to continue to pick up. These are by Just Play, and this plush sold for $8.05. These were from the estate sale where I picked up a whole bunch of Wizard of Oz. I actually picked up 2 pair. I want to say they were $1 each. But I realized the second package was opened, so I just gave them to my son. He was thrilled. He loves socks like that, so I just gave it to him. And these sold very quickly for $12.10. Fisher-Price Tigger plush. Again, it was one of those things. I listed it, and within a day or two, I received a $7 offer, and I'm like, make it gone. It doesn't need to sit around waiting for, another $1 or $1.50. Make it gone. This was in my profit pile, y'all. I don't know why I never got around to listing it, but this was a little Lisa Frank pink cat purse, little coin purse, little, like only 2.5 inches tall. And again, listed it last month, and it sold this month, $16.15. Russ Twirly Purple Turtle Plush. It had to go through 2 spa days. Just a little more dingy than I expected. And when I got it listed though, y'all, it sold very quickly. Let's see right here. Yep, I listed it this month and I sold it this month. $15.25. Squishmallows. Not quite sure why I have this, because I'm just say no to Squishmallows for the most part. I mean, I will definitely check the comps on them and the sell-through rate. But I guess I had done this on this. It must have been from the bins, because it's only been listed. Let's see, I don't know why my thing. Yep, in January I listed it, and it sold already for $17.95. This was Razy the Ramen Noodle Bowl, 12-inch size. All right, First in Maine. Chuckleberry is his name. I love that brand, but most of it's bread and butter. He sold for $10. Starbucks. Now, this must have been sent out like on an offer, because they've been listed for over a year. So right now I'm sending out at least $20 offers on anything that was listed before January of last year. And it sold for $9.66. However, I actually have 3 of them. And this person came back and bought a second one at the regular sale price of $12.07. So not all Starbucks sell very quickly. So definitely check the comps and the sell-through rate when you're looking at Starbucks. But I like coffee mugs. I tend to pick up quite a bit. All right, these next few sales is from Sherry. So thank you so much again, Sherry. Sherry bought this Hug-a-Bunch Baby Doll Tuggins for $8.96. And then she bought this Ewok Disney plush and Miss Noah, which is one of my favorite brands, but I don't hardly ever find it. She paid $34.56 for the 2 of them. And she bought this Cal Toy Gorilla for $8.36. And I think one more. Yep, this Winnie the Pooh Halloween plush for $13.72. So thank you again, Sherry. All right, Dakin Moose plush. I love Dakin. Applause, Russ. They are just, it's the vintage stuff I love. I tend to pick up a lot of it. Some of it can be very long tail, like this. This was listed over a year ago, but it sold $8.96. All right, Cabbage Patch Kids dolls. I picked up a couple of them when I was at the bins. they've sold. They're selling very quickly. I still have that one doll that had the red hair and the really nice dress. But she had some stains on her hands, and she's sitting upstairs. I haven't gotten to her yet. I'm going to at some point. But this little boy doll sold for $15. I think this might be a viewer sale. I had several people in the comments on this video say that they were interested in it. Y'all, I try to get to them as quickly as I can, and I get them listed as quickly as I can. But this was a Disney It's a Small World doll. Very sweet. And it sold within minutes of listing it, it seemed. So thanks, Natalie, if you are a viewer. It sold for $34.95. All right, and then this is a ramen noodle dog named Snackles, and he sold very quickly for $14.95. All right, this I think was one of those sales that went through the eBay international shipping. It is a white bear with purple ears and paws. I think they left me a comment in the offer that they had been looking for this for a while. That's why I think that's sticking out in my brain. But it sold for $8.05. Again, it was a very old listing. I remember there's probably been footage of this, that Robert had this in his cart. And I'm like, why are you buying this? And he knew. But I know H&M is just one of those brands you need to be particular about. But y'all, it sold very quickly, and it had a very strong perfume smell, which I put in the listing, and I just said leaving all cleaning to buyer. And this person sent me a message saying she needed it pretty quickly for an event and left me wonderful feedback. So obviously she got it on time. But it is a faux fur women's jacket, and it sold for $35.71. All right, I found some of these at the bins this last trip. I think I had one of the girls already listed, so this was one of those times where I take down that listing, I add all the other figures, and then I just do sell similar and relist it with the price bumped up. And it sold within a month. These are Little Tikes Dollhouse family figures. These are the vintage ones. I had the grandpa, the mom, 2 girls, and the little boy, and they sold for $35.95. They did have some condition wear, some scratches, some paint wear. Some of their faces were faded, which they are very prone to having faded faces. All right, this also was a quick sale. As you can see, the paper tag is laying in the front. That's just what I do when I need to wash something and it has a paper towel, has a paper tag. I just pull the tag off and try to remember to put it back with it. I don't reconnect it. I don't think most people really are going to leave it on there anyway, but I'll include it. And it still ended up having some discoloration, but it sold probably the same day I listed it for $20. This is a Nanco Pink Domo Monster Plush 9-inch. Some of the Domos do really well, so if you see one, definitely check the solds. All right, this is another one of those characters that I used to do really, really well with, but they just are long tail now and don't sell for a whole lot. It is Bubble Guppies. There's a little boy and a little fish character that goes also with these. And this one sold, took about 8 months for $7.15. All right, melamine. I tend to pick up a lot of melamine. I do well with it. This did take a while. They are tortilla warmers, and they sold for $10. Ralph Lauren nautical themed women's top sold for $11.41. Another plush from that high bid estate sale I won. There were tons of advertising plush. A lot of it was pharmaceutical or fast food restaurants, that type of stuff. But this was a round Plush for Astralin nasal spray, and it sold for $10.77. All right, Pink Rabbit Lovey didn't have a tag, and I ended up not being able at that time to figure out who the manufacturer was. So they do take longer if you can't figure out the manufacturer. It's just you've got to find the person who's going to be looking for a pink rabbit, you know, and sometimes it takes a while. It sold for $9.66. I think these next three are some of my higher stuff that sold. This was a Robert find. It's funny because now he's telling me any breakables or anything that needs to be pre-packed, we're going to try to keep it at like $50. It takes a lot more time and space to, you know, sell these items. This took, let's see, let me go back and look. I listed it in August, so it took a few months. It is a Chantel cookware dish. It was made in Germany, blue, very nice. I want to say we paid like $5 for it. And I took out an offer of $45. And then this, I found this at my favorite little estate sale company. Pretty sure I paid $2 or $3 for it. It was a vintage photo album. It was, the brand was Henzo. Sold for $50. Sealed. Let me see. I'm going to turn this off. So $50. I wanted to show you guys. You know, I just kind of took pictures of everything that I could. And, you know, that was a really good turnaround. But it takes a while for some of these vintage photo albums to sell. But there's definitely money to be made. Especially when they're sealed. All right, and then this Churchill Willa Rosa dinner set. I paid $25 for 2 large boxes full of dinnerware and servingware, teapots, just everything, salt and pepper, and I've done so well with it. I sold 5 of these dinner plates for $10 each, so a total of $50 for the 5 plates. So excellent, excellent. There we go. Last weekend sales. This week has continued to just kind of keep going along. Fingers crossed. You know, I am listing way more than normal just because I'm trying to get through all of these profit piles. And I think that's playing into the numbers that I'm maintaining. So I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I know at some point I'm going to hit the ebbs and flows. But right now, I'm thrilled that everything just seems to be keeping even for me. But, y'all, it's crazy how much stuff that I'm finding that I'm like, why? Why is this not listed? And a lot of it is because when we came in with stuff, it got put in a bag, and the bag got set on a shelf, and then something else got set in front of it, and it's just been crazy. But I'm hoping, you know, in the next few weeks to really have made a big difference down here. And that way I can start dealing with some of the smalls that we brought back from our trips. These last 2 from the St. Louis bins, I'm pretty sure I've got bags and totes out there in my building for it. And also this high bid estate sale stuff that has just kind of sat waiting for me to get to. And y'all, I still have a whole bunch of homeschool stuff that I've not gotten to that is ours. A lot of the teaching stuff when I was a teacher, I still have totes and totes of it. And believe it or not, I still have a lot of my own children's stuff, like bags of Imaginext and Play-Doh and just, you know, that's been set aside because all this time I've been working on stuff that we've been sourcing. But eventually I'm going to get to it. All right, y'all. Get to work. Bye.